for today's session on self-sabotage and paranoia, how to find balance and trusting yourself and others. So let's start by a grounding exercise. So just feel yourself to be in a comfortable position and allow yourself to settle into your surrounding. Take a few deep breaths, intentional breaths. And with each inhale, envision drawing in clarity and calmness. And with every exhale, letting go any distractions, reservations, or tensions you might be holding on to. So take a couple of breaths. Inhale calmness, and exhale any tension or reservations. Now gently shift your focus to your body, noting if there are any sensation or tightness or discomfort. These physical feelings often might mirror your internal states of self-sabotage or paranoia. And just acknowledge these sensations without judgment. And recognize them as signs from your body, urging you to pay attention to any unexplored parts of yourselves. So as you breathe deeply, imagine sending your breath into these areas of tension, inviting softness and release with every exhale. This act of somatic awareness helps you to connect more deeply into your internal landscape. And it may be eliminating the patterns of self-sabotage or paranoia that you may be dwelling within. These patterns, though challenging, are your body's response of protecting you. Today we approach them with curiosity and compassion, seeking to understand them, their origins, and how they are there to serve you. Throughout the session, we'll engage with these somatic experiences, learning to listen to our body wisdom as we navigate complexity of emotions. So the journey is about self-awareness, transformation, guiding you towards a state of balance and trust, not only within yourself, but with others. So let's begin with an open heart and mind, ready to explore, understand, and grow. Thank you for your bravery and for all your parts, for their willingness to be in this journey together. So the session today will take about 20 minutes to get into a bit of understanding of the complexity of fears, how and what impacts may be there from distrust or self-sabotage, and then also try and recognize and address the patterns. And then we'll get into the steps or process of healing, prepare for the session, and then get into the session itself in about 22 minutes from now, 20 minutes or so. And then we'll get into an IFS session, internal family system, where we will lead it through doing self-exploration, as we just said. And then we'll come back with a sound healing using tuning forks that I will guide you to. Okay? And then we will, at the end of the hour, we will open up for open Q&A, where if you can share your experience, but also if you have any questions that come up and clarifications, you're always welcome to stay on, ask questions, learn from others, and also for yourself. Okay, here we go. So let's go into understanding of self-sabotage and paranoia. So now self-sabotage is an act when you prevent yourself from reaching your goal almost always subconsciously. So, for example, procrastination on an important task that can lead to your opportunity, or turning down an opportunity itself because you don't feel good enough, is a form of self-sabotage. Paranoia, this involves often irrational and persistent mistrust or suspicion of others and sometimes yourself, leading you to interpret somebody's action as malicious. And so an example can be a friend, you're suspecting a friend who is genuine concern as you think it's manipulative or malicious without any evidence. Now, recognizing these patterns is very important. So you might notice these behaviors often during stress times or when faced with new challenges. For example, when offered a promotion, you doubt your capability and sabotage the opportunity by expressing unjustified fears to your employer. Now, these patterns can also lead to missed opportunities. They can lead to strained relationships. And they start something like a cycle of a negative self-talk and eventually isolation. For example, not trusting your employer's intention might push you to unfounded accusations, damaging relationships. So acknowledging this pattern is actually the first step towards change. And recognizing when you are sabotaging yourself or when you are being unduly paranoia can help you to address these issues directly. So understanding is key. Now, the complexity, so there is a complexity behind, and one of the biggest complexity comes from fear. And so it's good to understand fear. Fear is a natural response to perceived threats, but can become irrational or excessive sometimes. For example, fear of failure might lead you to avoid trying new things, keeping you in your comfort zone, but also limiting your growth, and hence leading to self-sabotage. Okay. These actions or thoughts that prevent you from achieving your desired outcomes can also be self-defeating. So, for example, being perfectionism, where there's a fear of not being good enough or not being perfect, sometimes leads to procrastination or not completing a task, because it is much better to not do than to do something which is not perfect. So you basically lead yourself into self-sabotaging. Okay. So negative self-talk reinforces fear and self-defeating behaviors. If you often tell yourself, I'm not good enough, it can lead to a belief in it and then prevent you from taking any challenges that could lead to success. And it starts from a cycle of fear and then leads into self-sabotage. So fear can lead to self-sabotage, creating that cycle, which is often hard to break. For instance, fearing rejection might stop you from applying for a job, or asking someone out, thus reinforcing the belief that you're not worthy. So it becomes like a self-fulfilling prophecy. And then there are examples of self-defeating behavior. For example, avoidance is one of the biggest one. Not attending, going to social events, going outside, from fear of judgment. Then you start to isolate yourself, get into loneliness. Or overcompensation, so working excessively to prove worthy, then leads to burnout. So finding balance is a key. So these behaviors can stifle personal development, keeping you from realizing your full potential. Okay? For example, not pursuing education or career opportunity because of fear of failure then limits your growth. So by understanding, recognizing these behaviors in ourselves, we can begin to challenge them and then change them. Remember, the awareness of this pattern is just the first step towards breaking the cycle of fear and sabotage. which then starts to open up pathways to your development and fulfillment. So in the session today, as we go forward, we'll try and explore some strategies to confront them. Now, why finding balance is essential. So balance in life means managing your thoughts, emotions, and actions in a way that supports your well-being and goals. For example, balancing work and relaxation prevents burnout. We know that, right? It enhances your productivity, demonstrating how much you're capable to do, and then bringing a kind of equilibrium. Now, trusting others is a fundamental to building meaningful relationships and community. So it involves in believing in reliability, truth, and ability of others. Okay, for example, in friendship, trusting friends with your personal story can deepen your connection, showing the strength that comes from vulnerability. So it helps you to build further relationships. And the interconnection between balance and trust is that achieving balance in your emotion and thoughts makes it easier to trust others. Conversely, trusting relationships can provide a support system that contributes to your emotional and mental balance. So the key point is about overcoming barriers to trust. Now, fear of betrayal from past experiences can often make it challenging to trust, and hence self-sabotage comes in. So recognizing these fears and working through them can help you to get into, for example, sharing small vulnerabilities to test waters can actually gradually lead you to capacity to trust. And trusting yourself is a first step in trusting others. This means believing your ability to make decisions, judge character, handle the outcome of trusting others is key. And self-trust builds confidence, reduces fear of external judgment and reflection. So balance helps you to navigate life with flexibility and resilience, while trust enables you development of deep, meaningful connections. So acknowledging and overcoming the barriers to trust, starting with self-trust, paves the way to a more balanced and interconnected life. So we'll use our session to see if we can explore this within ourselves, within you. Okay. So let's go into the process. Okay. Now, kind of goes into a 5-step, and I will just trying to build a little bit into the model of IFS so that we can have the same language as we start to get into the session. Okay. So we begin always by acknowledging that every part of you, including those leading to self-sabotage or paranoia, serves a protective role. So they are there to protect you. They came from somewhere, but their reason to be present is to protect you. So recognizing those patterns, listening closely to your inner dialogue, and we'll do it in a certain way, you'll start to notice that when a part of you is acting from a place of fear or pain, such as avoiding social situations to protect against rejection, this awareness is the first step where you start to say, well, I notice a part of me is trying to avoid being in a social situation. So now then you can go to the second part, which is, well, our patterns are often rooted in past traumas or unmet needs. So by acknowledging or understanding the pattern itself, and then understanding the triggers, origin of those triggers, can start to see how they influence your current thoughts and actions. So these insights allow you to respond to them from a place of informed compassion, rather than an automatic reaction like disgust or anger or helplessness or guilt. And then we get into the dialogue with compassion. Okay, we are going to practice it. Now, with recognition, once you recognize and then start to engage in a compassionate dialogue with their part, asking them about what their fears are, asking them what they need from you. Now, this conversation is essential for transforming your relationship with those parts from one of conflict to one of cooperation. And vulnerability is our greatest strength. It often opens doors to genuine connections and healing. So recognize that stepping into vulnerability, your own vulnerability, understanding through fears, is a powerful move against the grain of self-defeating behaviors. And then, of course, insights into how recognizes those patterns is not just about noticing them, but actually actively engaging with them through curiosity and compassion, understanding where they come from, when did they start, what happened then. Now, this process is a pivotal step towards healing. And embracing vulnerability is a courageous act, and it opens up to change and growth rather than weakness to be avoided. So the journey is not about eradicating part of ourselves, but much more about understanding and integrating them with compassion and courage. So through this session, we will move towards a more authentic and fulfilling way of doing it that may bring some form of change for you, either today or when you practice it often. So let's start by provoking yourself. Now, I send you these two questions, which is to say, well, related to the topic, okay, reflect on a recent moment when you notice yourself engaging in self-sabotage, okay? What were the circumstances, triggers, and what do you think triggered this behavior? So just understanding it. So take a note of it, or recall a situation where paranoia or distrust affected a relationship or an opportunity for you. And how did it feel to you? And what was the outcome? So take a moment to look at that. And it's not a bad idea to make a list, because the way the session works is that you can come back and run again for the second item in your list, and third item in your list, and fourth item in your list, etc. So take a moment to just list them down and see, while you're looking at, if you can select one that you would like to work. Okay, if you have selected one, we can begin. So just find yourself in a comfortable position, in a place where it allows you to relax. You can keep a paper and a pencil nearby if you want to jot down any insights during or after the exercise, as you prefer. Now let's begin by centering yourself with your breath. So inhale slowly and deeply through your nose, feeling your lungs expand completely. And then exhale gently through your mouth, releasing any stress or tension. So breathe in through your nose and breathe out from your mouth. And just do a scan. Go from top of your head and go down into your neck, into your shoulders, into your arms, into your chest, belly down into your leg, and just do a scan and find any sensations that you may feel in your body, around your body. You don't have to do anything, just notice. Now bring into your awareness that one theme or subject on self-sabotage or paranoia that you would like to focus. Bring it into your awareness. Think about it. Go into it. And focus on any specific feeling that arises. Noting the sensation, the emotions, or the thoughts that emerge. Just bring it into your awareness and focus on it. Now direct your awareness to any physical sensation or images associated with these patterns. So observe if there is any discomfort, tightness, or any other response in your body, around your body, or you see an image. Now breathe into these areas, allowing each exhale to facilitate a bit of relaxation and release. And check in with your feelings towards this pattern of the image or this sensation. If you feel anger, frustration, doubt, anything, just see if you can approach with curiosity so that you can have a conversation with a part of you that feels that way. The feeling that you're getting is from this part of you, which you can see either in an image or in an sensation in your body. So just become curious so that you can inquire further. If it feels difficult to let go the emotion, then ask yourself, is there some form of judgment or something that's coming up? And if there is a form of judgment, you can ask to this judgment part of you to step into a waiting room, saying, let me focus on the sensation in my body. Inquire with curiosity, and maybe I will understand something. So from a place of curiosity, ask a question to this area in your body, around your body, or to this image, saying, what is your purpose for me? What do you intend? and notice what you hear. Again, judgment is in the waiting room, so just hear from a place of curiosity. And now ask a question. What are you trying to protect me from? Or another way is, what are you afraid would happen to me? And see what you hear. Remember to stay curious and maybe a little bit of compassion. And ask again, well, if that happens, what are you really afraid would happen to me? What is your ultimate biggest fear for me? And see what you hear. Notice if it makes sense as to what they are protecting you from. And if it does, just acknowledge that you understand. And notice how that sensation in the part of your body changes as you acknowledge. Ask another question. Do you like doing what you do for me, which is protecting me this way? Or you have to do it? And see what you hear. Now ask questions. Since when or how old was I when you started to play this role for me or protecting me? How old was I? And if possible, what was going on at that time? Just notice how you feel and see if you can be compassionate apart from being curious for this part which is protecting you because something happened somewhere in the past. Now ask another question. what needs to happen for this part to shift and feel less stressful or more safe. So what needs to happen for this part to feel more safe enough that it can step back? Listen to some actions that it may want you to do, or things that may have to happen in your life. So just listen from a place of compassion and curiosity. Does it make sense for you, what you hear? And if it does, see if you can acknowledge. Or if you need more information, you can ask for more information. So can you explain me better? Remember to stay compassionate and curious. So listen and note what assurance is needed for them to relax, for this part to relax. Acknowledge it, validate it. And if it did show you something in the past, you can always say, well, I will come back and work with the younger version of you to heal it later on. And just express your gratitude. And see if you can take a moment to let your inner system know, all parts of you, the one that came together and the other ones that you took note and you will work later, let them know your vision of life. What do you want for you? As if you're telling everyone in your system, this is what I want for myself. And take a moment for them to hear it from you. Now take a moment to express gratitude to all aspects of yourself that participated today, assuring them of your intention to continue this dialogue and the healing journey. And as you feel ready, just gently transition back into present moment. And if you want, you can take a moment to take notes, insights, or action that you may wish to remember before we start to proceed to the tuning fork. Okay, we'll just start now. Okay, so we will get into the tuning fork sound healing. So it's a guided one. If you're coming in new, just to give you a context. So what we do with the sound healing is we work on this torus. We start by opening the center below the feet and then go to the top of the head, so that we open the channel, which is through our basically our backbone, and then basically then we get into the torus. Now torus is this field that you see around us. So the way we do is we understand based on why you are here and your intention, and so all your energy, and what needs to open up or release in your system will show up and will go along. And how it shows up, we start by first checking which chakra or center has to be worked on using a pendulum. All your energy is here with your intention, and also of those people who are going to listen afterwards. And once we know which center to work on, then basically we get into the torus field. We start with the time of your conception, which is when you're conceived, which is at the edge of the field, and then we go in to the present moment. Okay, so it can be whichever. So let's take, we start with the heart, we'll go to the extent left or right. Depends on what the pendulum says, and then we start to work, and then I will come back with ages, which can be in the mother's womb, but also at the time of birth, and then always say, well, you are 2 years old, 3 years old. This is a kind of emotion or thing that's coming up. If it is relevant for you, what you do is you bring it into your awareness, because you will get triggers inside of you, and then we'll do a specific breathing by which then you can release it. So the way it works, I will use tuning fork and you use breath. So we work together. And the breath is something like, we take a deep breath in through your nose, you fill up your chest, your lungs basically, and then when you breathe out, you breathe out forcefully through your mouth. And what you do is imagine breath in coming from top, breathe in through your feet. So you're opening this whole channel. The other thing to remember is that sometime when it's very tough, you can also release by doing something like and then it goes away. Okay, and I will keep doing with the tuning fork with you. Okay, and then you will keep hearing me saying age 1, age 2, age 3, whatever. Okay, comes up. Okay, here we go. So I just want you to think about your wish, why you are here, and then we'll get into, and I will start by opening the center below your feet, and then top of your head, and then into torus. Okay, here we go. So think about your wish as I start. Okay, so I will open below the feet. We'll start with the tuning fork, which is 174 hertz. And now we are going to hear that as you open below the feet, and then we'll go to the top of the head. Okay, so now I'm below your feet, pointing the tuning fork through your backbone to the top of your head, opening that channel. So take a breath. Okay, you feel it in your second center, just release it. Take another breath. Take another breath, and I'm going to ground you, connect you to Mother Earth. Okay, we are going to go to the top of the head. Now I'm pointing to the top of your head, opening through the channel through your feet. It's also opening connection to divine. Take a breath. Okay, so I'm going to run a pendulum. You can see me through your different centers. Okay. Start with the root. Nope. And we go to the second center. Says no. Okay, goes to the third center. This is solar plexus. It says yes. And wants to work on the left side. Okay, no, it's changing his mind. Wants to work on the right side. So what is called the father side, or the masculine side. I'm on the heart center, says no. On the throat, says no. Okay. And very strongly on the sixth center, the third eye. Okay. And on the crown chakra, nothing. Okay, so we are going to start with the third center, so the one which is called solar plexus, and I'm going to go to the right side, and I will start with your time of being conceived, okay, and then we will work backwards to the present moment. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so here we go. You will hear a different tuning fork because now I'm using 144 Hertz for clearing the. Okay, here we go. So we start with your. So the time of conception, it is sharing. So there are two thoughts that are coming. One is from the head. So somebody who's head of family is saying something at the conception. Not very nice remarks. And there's a lot of palpitation in the heart. So mostly the mother, and hence the baby, is feeling some form of pressure. It's a palpitation. So just breathe. And he's saying that this moment is what is defining my identity that I live with even today. So just see if you can send. So first take a deep breath. Release. And if you were to send a message to this little embryo, which is just being conceived, coming into the world, an assurance message, something that will make it feel it's been worthwhile to being here. So in your own words, please make a comment or a remark to this little angel which is just coming, which is you. Take a breath. Please continue to do. I'm changing the tuning fork because I'm sending healing. Give your message to the little one. Yeah, he's asking, now it's 3 months into mother's womb, asking the same question. So please redo assurance. This time is no pressure from the head, it's much more in the heart. It could be some sadness, most likely something going on there. Can be from the mother, or the father. Picked up by the baby. So it has come up to the birth time. So in your own words, send love to your mother, to the father, and if possible to the nursing staff and people around you, because you are not comfortable coming in. And especially to the little one. Take a breath. Yeah, that helped. So you want me to move very fast forward to 15-year-old. Yeah, the word came, my world is shaking. I don't feel stable here. That was the word. Or supported enough. Or valid enough. And go straight into the third center. Yeah, who am I? So stay with that, keep breathing. I'm going to try and release it. forward. So it's bringing about 2 years from now, so 2 years ago. See what comes up for you. Is going into the back, lower back, and he's talking about being supported, not supported enough. Just a left and a breath. And present moment, today. Something going on there. Yes, it's not supported. Breathe. Okay, so now it's going into your father area because they're on the right side. So we are going to go into area of your father's life, what he went through and challenges he went through that you have kind of inherited. Yeah. What comes up is he was not supported at a young age. The same back feeling in lower back, not supported enough, comes back. Send love to your father. Acknowledge his challenges. Okay, we are going to release it out. Take a breath. So it wants me to spend time on your third eye. This is about opening a bit of your, your perspective. So I'm just going to do a browse through your, so the third eye area, and see if anything comes up. So it's bringing me to about 25 years of age. Yeah, extreme fear. Okay, I'm going to release all of it. Take a breath. So now we'll let the body process for the next 48 hours. And I'm going to surround you in a cocoon of 528 hertz. So as we draw our session on self-sabotage and paranoia to close, let's take a moment to reflect on the journey toward understanding and transferring those patterns. So start by refocusing on your breath. Inhale deeply, welcoming clarity and calm, and exhale slowly, releasing any tensions or uncertainties. And allow each breath to ground you here and now. Just recognize that we have diverse parts, each with its own distinct purpose and message. Today, you have engaged with parts of yourself that contribute to self-sabotage or paranoia, approaching them with curiosity and compassion. Take a moment to honor the parts that emerged and acknowledge their effort and protective roles they serve in your journey towards self-awareness and growth. As you extend your gratitude to each part, thank them for their courage and express your gratitude for them. And assure your inner parts of your ongoing commitment to nurturing harmonious relationship with them. Emphasize your dedication to their healing and to fostering an inner environment of balance and trust. And now take a deep breath and let go of any lingering doubts or fears. When you feel ready, gently open your eyes, returning to the present moment with renewed sense of peace and purpose. Thank you for being here today. May you carry these insights and compassion for yourself, nurturing a more balanced and trusting relationship with yourself and others. Thank you for being here.